Hi, everybody. I'm Danielle with the Sweeney Agency, and this afternoon I'm very excited to welcome Scott McKain. Scott is a recognized thought leader, author, and speaker on sales and customer experience. He works with organizations around the world about how to create the key ingredients to attract and retain customers and employees. Scott's engaging virtual presentations are filled with insights, ideas, and the practical tools that empower people to take action. Scott, the first part of our conversation, we were talking about this study that you've just completed about why people choose to do business with one company over another. So with the idea of personal engagement being forefront for companies right now, B2B and B2C, what would you advise our leaders out there right now would be the number one thing that can improve their customer experience?
Yeah, great question. It's such a challenge because everything is so fluid. Yet I think when things like this happen, it's crucial for us to get back to the basics, because even though the how changes, the basics aren't going to change. So I talked in a previous book, in my book, Create Distinction, about the 4 cornerstones of distinction. And I think those 4 cornerstones apply to any organization, any department, any team today. And those 4 cornerstones quickly are: number 1, clarity, being absolutely crystal clear about what your advantages are in a hyper-competitive marketplace. Now here's the problem. Most organizations can say what they are, but they don't take it the next important step, which is saying what we are not. Clarity is defined not only as by what makes us different, but clarity is also defined about what we aren't. Because if we're trying to be all things to all people, then we become very generic. So we have to be very clear about what our purpose is, about the how of what we do. And once we have that established, then it takes us to the second one, which is creativity. It's finding some one unique aspect. And many times innovation is thought of as being chaotic. It's throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, and blowing everything up and being innovative. And if you look at the data, that is not what it's about. It's about finding one thing that we can do uniquely. When the Taylor family founded a little rental car business in St. Louis, they had to compete against Hertz and Avis and the big players. So they thought, well, what can we do uniquely? They found one thing of the 13 points of contact that they said that the rental car company had with their customers. They found one thing to do uniquely.
What was
the Taylor
that?
family.
Here.
I appreciate you asking. The Taylor family still owns that little rental car business they founded, by the way. They named it Enterprise Rental Car, and they pick you up. They thought, what if we took the car to the customer rather than making the customer come to us to get the car? The Chevy is the same. The Ford is the same. There's zero product variation between the product that you get from Enterprise and the product that you get from the competition. But by making that one creative move, taking the car to the customer, they are now the biggest in the game. Well, Jeff Bezos thinks, hey, wait a minute, would that work with books? What if we took the book to the customer rather than make the customer come to the bookstore? We see it constantly now. We got our bikes repaired not long ago here in Las Vegas, and we found in Yelp somebody that has a van, and they bring the bike shop to your driveway. And it's a totally fit truck that's a bike shop that parks in your driveway and fixes your bike. So you don't have to load the bike. You don't have to take it to the store. So what we're finding is that same principle can work across many different disciplines. So one of the ways you can be creative is find something that works for an organization that's not in your industry. You know, what if Amazon bought your organization? How would they run it differently? If Steve Jobs magically came back and decided to run your company instead of Apple, what would he do that would be differently than how you're currently managing your business, your department, yourself personally? So that's the essence of creativity. Third is communication. We're story junkies. We love narrative. And so finding the unique way that we can tell our story is infinitely more memorable to customers than trying to overload them with facts and figures and features about our product or service. And the fourth and final one is the customer experience focus. Now, it's not customer service. It's not a customer focus. It is the unique focus on the individual. Maya Angelou's famous quote about people won't remember what you made them think, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. That should be on every wall of every business in the world. How does it feel to be your customer? Yet if you look at the education and background and training that most of us have in the corporate world, very little of that time has been spent on the creation of experiences, the creation of emotion, the creation of feeling but yet that is the critical factor in ensuring repeat and referral business, which is the lifeblood of success of any vibrant organization.
Scott, thank you so much. We so appreciated talking with you today. You've left us a lot of food for thought.
Gosh, I hope so, Danielle. And it's always a privilege to work with the Sweeney Agency and with you. And I really appreciate this opportunity. And I know it's a very challenging time for many of the folks that are watching right now. And so having the privilege of being of assistance during this time where it seems like everything is changing is certainly a privilege to work with great organizations. So thank you.
Thank you so much.